scheduled for 15 3-minute rounds with a rest period of 1 minute in between. And now, in this corner, on my right, from Boxburg, South Africa, weighing 103 kilos, wearing royal blue trunks with orange trim, the challenger and heavyweight champion of South Africa, Gerrie Coetzee. In this corner, on my left, from Pomona, California, weighing 95.50 kilos, wearing black trunks with white trim, the present WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Weaver. I will now call on the referee to bring the contestants into the center of the ring. Oh, and will the dignitaries please leave the ring now?
What? Okay. Yeah, we're ready. Okay. Here we go. Just say yes. Well, the fighters are in the middle of the ring receiving their instructions from the referee, Jesus Celis of Venezuela. The judges are Armogio Cedeno of Panama and Ove Ovesen of Denmark. The 10-point must system in effect for a WBA title fight, 9 or less to the loser of a round. There can be a 10-10 even round. And there comes the sight time as usual, and the stare of the champion Weaver, and withstood rather handily by the challenger Coetzee. Mandatory 8 count will be in effect. 3 knockdown rule is also in effect. In other words, if a fighter goes down 3 times in the same round, then the fight will be declared over. It's a 20-foot ring. It's been slippery through the preliminary fights. They have a lot of rosin in there to try and make it a little bit better and less slippery. And, of course, Gil and Angelo will be keeping an eye on that as we go along. Coetzee in the blue trunks with an orange stripe, expected to come out quickly. The champion in black trunks.
Tim, I think we have to watch this first round carefully. Both fighters were kept waiting in the ring for at least 5 minutes. That means one of them could have cooled off and could get nailed and get what we caught cold.
I think Weaver's backing this guy up. He's fighting the right kind of a fight. Make him back up, because Coetzee coming at you with the right hand is a dangerous fighter.
In his last fight, he stopped Mike Korenicki a minute and a half into the first round. And, of course, he flattened Leon Spinks, knocking him down 3 times in the first round of their fight in Monte Carlo.
Tim, what was their weight American style? Because they gave it in kilos.
Mike Weaver came in at 210 pounds, and Weaver on the attack, but counter-punching is Weaver. Coetzee weighed in at 226 1/4. He stands 6'3", Mike Weaver 6'1". They have reach that is almost identical, despite the fact Coetzee is taller.
Coetzee got a bruise on top of his head. They clashed heads over his right eye. It doesn't look like it's bleeding yet, but he got a real bad bruise.
Weaver looks extremely relaxed in this first round. Coetzee expected to come out flurrying early. Tried that in the first few seconds, but Weaver just tied him up.
Tim, you mentioned that Weaver looks relaxed. That's always been his problem, whether it's relaxation or just being lethargic or something else.
Good combination by Coetzee, and he landed that overhand right, and another. And another right hand got through. A crowd of 16,000, some of them coming to their feet here in support of Coetzee.
Both of them throwing those big bombs.
Under a minute to go in the first round.
Mike Weaver's blinking. I don't know why. Both eyes. Can't understand. He's blinking.
Yes,
with
he
both
is.
eyes.
And water running heavily from those eyes. Whether he got thumbed or got something in them, we don't know. Coetzee backing off here as Weaver seems to have weathered the storm very calmly.
Well, he can't be laying on the ropes like that, Tim. That's a real danger spot.
There's that big right hand. Big right hand by Coetzee.
Less than 30 seconds to go in round 1. Tremendous flurry in this first round by Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger. That well-known overhand right. You heard Weaver say he was expecting it. he'd try to stay out of the way of it. Well, he has been nailed with it.
I'll tell you, Coetzee is really fighting a smart, cute fight in there, and Weaver nailed him with 2 Sunday punches and didn't budge him.
Closing seconds of round number 1. Let's look at some of that action in that first round. And here's Coetzee, the first time he had Weaver on the ropes.
Boy, they were trading bombs. Either guy could have went, get caught coming in with a punch.
Weaver's complaining that something on Coetzee's gloves. He's caught it in the corner. That's why he's blinking. And he told him to check his gloves.
Mike Weaver being attended to in his corner between rounds by Johnny Taco and Ray Barnes. And they are very concerned as they can't quite figure out what it is. Johnny Taco signaling the referee. And they are saying that something from the gloves of Coetzee or from his body has been transferred to the eyes of Mike Weaver. And he is still bothered with it. They've sounded the bell for round 2. Referee Sellis came to tell him to come out into the middle of the ring for the action. So let's see how this develops with Coetzee on the attack again.
Tim, in New York, you're not allowed to use any sort of a substance on a body. And in this case, it must have been a liniment to keep Coetzee hot, and that probably is what got in Mike Weaver's eyes. It could also get in Coetzee's eyes, though, because if Weaver's glove touched Coetzee's body and any jabs, he's going to wind up getting it in Coetzee's eyes.
You must have some kind of a liniment, which will make you actually blink from doing it when you get it on your glove. Let's see it be cleared up right now, Mike.
Mike Weaver in the black trunks, the champion. Gerrie Coetzee in the dark trunks, blue with orange trim. Good counter punch by Weaver. Sent Coetzee back, but Coetzee rebounds.
Coetzee really landed some Sunday punches right there.
Don Manuel told me, he says, Mike Weaver's a lazy fighter. He said, but if you hit him, then it brings out the best in him. Let's see what happens.
Don Manuel, the manager of the champion Mike Weaver, trained by Ray Barnes. Coetzee managed by Hal Tucker, trained by Alan Tawil. His father, Flip Coetzee, also in the corner with Mons Eunice. Coetzee brought in a record of 23-1, 13 knockouts. According to Ring Magazine, Weaver 22-9-0 with 15 knockouts. The number 2 rated Gerrie Coetzee challenging for the second time for the WBA crown.
Coetzee is really using his weight on Mike Weaver, pushing him around. A 16-pound pull of weight is really something.
The eyes again, Angelo. Mike Weaver just shook his head and tried to brush something out of his eyes. There's something bothering Mike Weaver as far as his eyes are concerned.
Under a minute to go in round 2. The referee is Jesus Celis from Venezuela.
I tell you, somebody should have went over in Coetzee's corner and check him out. Could be the gloves, could be on his body, or he's still glistening, and that's a liniment on his body.
Well, the referee Celis did go over
but he
just prior to round 2, and he used the towel on his chest.
Yeah, but once that stuff is on there, it's very difficult to get off. That's why you have to have an inspector in the dressing room to watch these guys. They don't put anything like that on his body.
Less than 30 seconds to go in round number 2. WBA title fight, Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy and Angelo Dundee ringside in Bophuthatswana, South Africa.
This does not look like an early round of a fight. They're both standing flat-footed. There's no strategy. They're both looking to unload and hit the other guy with a big bomb.
Feverishly in the corner of Mike Weaver, spraying water in there, trying to clear out of his eyes whatever the irritating thing is. And Johnny Taco, Ray Barnes, really hard at it.
I'm willing to bet that Coetzee has liniment on his body because it keeps glistening on his back off the lights. That's definitely liniment. And therefore, they should get it and clean him off. But I don't see nobody from the other corner walking over there.
Well, the initiative on that, obviously, it'd have to be taken by Weaver's people, transfer to the referee, and hope that he'll go along. A warning for round number 3. The third round, scheduled for 15. Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger, in the blue trunks. Mike Weaver in black. Normally, you would expect dark and light trunks in all of our televised fights, but Coetzee actually turned down 35,000 Rand from a sponsor of trunks because he's superstitious about the ones he's wearing and wanted to wear those. He was guaranteed 10,000 Rand if he wore them, 25,000 more if he won the championship, but he opted to go with his lucky trunks. He's lost only once, and that was to the champion, John Tate, in a listless display that went 15 rounds. He's not listless here. Weaver now counterpunching and landing.
That's what Don Manuel said. He said, you hit Mike Weaver and you wake him up. He woke up just then. He better stay awake, though, in this fight.
I'll tell you, Mike Weaver is taking some real good shots from Coetzee. And always the weight is evident, the way Coetzee locks him on the ropes.
You mentioned that 16-pound weight advantage, and he has been using it. Weaver's corner saying, back him up, use the right hand on him.
I don't think Coetzee is too confident of his stamina, though, Tim, because after he throws a flurry, every once in a while he walks away and takes a big, deep breath.
Coetzee right in Weaver's corner, lands a good left. Big flurry by Coetzee, but one good punch, and now talking to Weaver.
Coetzee is talking to him, but I don't think he can understand him, Weaver.
Well, if he's speaking in Afrikaans, he sure can't understand him. Gerrie does speak English.
Weaver just landed 2 real good shots where Coetzee lives, and they really had some effect on the guy. Now Coetzee is blinking.
Well, the liniment factor, it may be called when this fight is over, if indeed you gentlemen are correct in your assessment. Something on the body of Coetzee.
Coetzee is definitely
hurt.
Yes, he is. With a body shot.
Body shot, he's also rubbing his eyes, so he's got some of the same stuff
Tim,
in his eyes.
That's what I pointed out before. The stuff from his body gets on Weaver's gloves, and then he gets in it, they can see his eyes. It's very bad for both of them.
Tim, do you check his back? See, it's off the front of him, but it's on his back. And that's where all the liniment is, all over his body.
Under a minute to go.
Big left hook by Coetzee, a counter-punch left hook. Those are the kind of get you out of there.
Now under 30 seconds in this third round.
They've both taken tremendous punches up to this point.
Oh, yes. Amazing the way they're both taking those shots.
So you can see he walks away and takes those breaths, though. I think he's worried about getting tired, and when you're worried about getting tired is when you get tired.
Coetzee has never been knocked out. We'll return here to Botswana after this word from your local stations.
He's tired already. Coetzee is tired already, Tim.
Well, say it when the time's appropriate.
Yeah.
Here's Coetzee working on Weaver right in his own corner. There was a tremendous left hook in this flurry that really nailed him. Right there. Big punches landing from Gerrie Coetzee. As we await round 4, the challenger certainly has had the better of it in the early going. When we're doing those replays, don't be afraid to come in. I mean, I'll just set them up, jump in. Round number 4, scheduled for 15, the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Gil, you thought that Coetzee looked a little weary already.
Yes, I did. He's been winging early, and he's been winning the rounds, but in the meanwhile, Mike Weaver's been dropping those little left hooks underneath, and they take something out of you. And at the bell, Coetzee was very tired going back, and that's surprising after only 3 rounds in the fight.
Well, both fighters have shown some problems in the eyes from something that both Angelo and Gil feel was probably liniment on Coetzee's body.
What I said, Tim, before the fight, this is the best fighter Coetzee has fought. But Mike Weaver, to me, with the championship, is a much, much better fighter.
Well, one thing for sure, it is already a much better heavyweight championship than the one in which Ali was involved with Holmes. An unfortunate finish for Ali. This has been action-packed from the opening bell.
Tim, Coetzee threw 4 left jabs. Mike Weaver backed up, and when he backed up, he pulled that left foot back. That's curtains when you do that because you're not in position to punch. I think if Coetzee starts backing him up more, Mike's going to be in trouble.
Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger, on the right of your screen. The champion, Mike Weaver, in black on the left.
Mike Weaver actually has Coetzee bending in the middle. Coetzee is tired right now, grabbing the ropes, looking to save himself. And Weaver's hurting him where he lives, downstairs.
Angelo Dundee with Gil Clancy and Tim Ryan. Ringside in Bophuthatswana, tribal homeland in South Africa. Sellout crowd of 16,000, paying up to $500 for ringside, down to $100 for the cheapest seat in the house. It kept away a lot of the lower income groups, as you might imagine.
One thing Mike Weaver don't want to do is trade right.
Advantage, and he has been using it. Weaver's corner saying back him up, use the right hand on him.
I don't think Coetzee is too confident of his stamina, though, Tim, because after he throws a flurry, every once in a while he walks away and takes a big, deep breath.
Coetzee right in Weaver's corner, lands a good left. Big flurry by Coetzee, but one good punch, and now talking to Weaver.
Coetzee is talking to him, but I don't think he can understand him, Weaver.
Well, if he's speaking in Afrikaans, he sure can't understand him. Harry does speak English.
Weaver just landed 2 real good shots where Coetzee lives, and they really had some effect on the guy. Now Coetzee is blinking.
Well, the liniment factor, it may be called when this fight is over, if indeed you gentlemen are correct in your assessment. Something in the body of
Coetzee is definitely
hurt.
Yes, he is. With a body shot.
Body shot, he's also rubbing his eyes, so he's got some of the same stuff
Tim,
in his eyes.
That's what I pointed out before. The stuff from his body gets on Weaver's gloves, and then he gets in it to see his eyes. It's very bad for both of them.
Tim, do you check his back? See, it's off the front of him, but it's on his back. And that's where all the liniment is, all over his body.
Under a minute to go.
Big left hook by Coetzee, a counterpunch left hook. Those are the kind that get you out of there.
Now under 30 seconds in this third round.
They've both taken tremendous punches up to this point.
Oh, yes. Amazing the way they're both taking those shots.
So you can see he walks away and takes those breaths, though. I think he's worried about getting tired, and when you're worried about getting tired is when you get tired.
Coetzee has never been knocked out. We'll return here to Bophuthatswana after this word from your local stations.
He's tired already. Coetzee is tired already, Tim.
Well, say it when the time's appropriate. Here's Coetzee working on Weaver right in his own corner, and there was a tremendous left hook in this flurry that really nailed him. Right there. Big punches landing from Gerrie Coetzee. As we await round 4, the challenger certainly has had the better of it in the early going. When we're doing those replays, don't be afraid to come in. I mean, I'll just set them up, jump in. Round number 4, scheduled for 15, the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Gil, you thought that Coetzee looked a little weary already.
Yes, I did. He's been winging early, and he's been winning the rounds, but in the meanwhile, Mike Weaver's been dropping those little left hooks underneath, and they take something out of you. And at the bell, Coetzee was very tired going back, and that's surprising after only 3 rounds in the fight.
Well, both fighters have shown some problems in the eyes from something that both Angelo and Gil feel was probably liniment on Coetzee's body.
What I said, Tim, before the fight, this is the best fighter Coetzee has fought. But Mike Weaver, to me, with the championship, is a much, much better fighter.
Well, one thing for sure, it is already a much better heavyweight championship than the one in which Ali was involved with Holmes. An unfortunate finish for Ali. This has been action-packed from the opening bell.
Tim, Coetzee threw 4 left jabs. Mike Weaver backed up, and when he backed up, he pulled that left foot back. That's curtains when you do that because you're not in position to punch. I think if Coetzee starts backing him up more, Mike's going to be in trouble.
Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger, on the right of your screen. The champion, Mike Weaver, in black on the left.
Mike Weaver actually has Coetzee bending in the middle. Coetzee is tired right now, grabbing the ropes, looking to save himself. And Weaver's hurting where he lives downstairs.
Angelo Dundee with Gil Clancy and Tim Ryan. Ringside in Botswana, tribal homeland in South Africa. Sellout crowd of 16,000, paying up to $500 for ringside, down to $100 for the cheapest seat in the house. It kept away a lot of the lower income groups, as you might imagine.
One thing Mike Weaver don't want to do is trade right hands with Coetzee, but his punch is definitely faster than Mike Weaver.
Right hand lead from Coetzee scored. A good countering left from Weaver landed.
You know, they talk about that big right hand of Coetzee. He's landed 4 or 5, and nothing's happened to Mike Weaver yet.
The big difference is wearing that crown, Gil. It makes you reach a different plateau. And this kid's the heavyweight champion right now.
We're under a minute to go in round 4. Coetzee, well known for what's called his bionic right hand. He had it operated on and a steel pin inserted following a bad break.
Tim, you don't buy that, do you? And once you break your hand like that, it's never the same. There's always the thought of maybe breaking it again.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the 4th round. Coetzee has done a lot of leaning on him in this 4th.
Coetzee is definitely looking to stall for time. He's grabbing the ropes, pushing them back. He's getting hurt with body shots.
Good combination by Mike Weaver, putting his punches together real well.
Final seconds of the 4th round. Referee's got to break him better than that. He's patting him on the back. Fourth round action here with Coetzee showing the effects of the punches in the first 3 rounds that he threw. He's a little tired and showing it. A lot of leaning on Weaver.
It could be that extra pound that just got tremendous. The biggest he kept in for a long time, Coetzee. He's about 6.5, 7, 8 pounds heavier. And he looks bulky in there.
He's 16 pounds heavier. 226 to 210. Round number 5. Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger, out of the corner quickly, and Mike Weaver, the champion. The referee is Jesus Celis of Venezuela. And he's doing a little better job now breaking them up than he did in round number 4. Can't tap those heavyweights on the back and expect them to respond.
You sure can't. These are 2 big, strong guys. And if they want to stay in those ropes, they're going to stay there. You have to pry them up there.
Well, Coetzee is getting away with murder from the referee. He's actually holding the ropes with both hands.
Yes, and they're warning. And in the meanwhile, while
there
he's
it is right there.
He pulled his hand back that time, Ange.
Yeah, but he grabbed it both times. Right hand shot from Coetzee grazed the chin of Weaver. The referee from Venezuela, a judge from Panama, a judge from Denmark. There it is again.
That's a terrible job the referee's doing. That's horrible. That man's grabbing both hands and holding the guy against the ropes.
And using his shoulder in the meanwhile.
Right hand lead from Coetzee landed. Weaver missed with a right, now lands one.
Landed a big left hook underneath Weaver.
Body shots is what's doing it to Coetzee. He's definitely getting hurt down the middle, and our boy Weaver's got a cut on the bridge of his nose.
Right between the eyes, on the bridge of his nose.
You know, it's amazing how well Don Manuel knows his fighter. He said, watch out. He said, anytime Mike Weaver gets hit a good punch, that's when he really goes to it. And boy, he sure has come back anytime he got hit hard.
Gil Clancy with Angelo Dundee and Tim Ryan here ringside for this WBA championship fight. Coetzee with his mouth open is showing signs of fatigue. We're in round number 5.
He is really blowing hard, leaning in there, using his weight to the fullest advantage. Tim, I meant it was the heaviest Coetzee has ever been. I'm not talking about the 10-pound weight. You know, they pull in weights.
226-pound Coetzee, 210-pound Mike Weaver, the champion. Less than a minute to go in round 5.
Coetzee's legs don't even look too good to me right now.
Flurry by Coetzee, response from Weaver.
Body shots are really burning him in half. Coetzee's really getting hurt with the body shot.
Weaver planned to go to the body. He thought that would slow down Coetzee as the fight went on. He's sticking to his plan.
It's amazing what being a champion, what a difference it makes in a fighter. Weaver really has that championship pride now.
He's fighting like the challenger, Tim. Taking it to the guy.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the 5th round. Weaver's last fight when he won the title, March 31st of this year over John Tate, with that stunning one-punch knockout in the 15th round.
I'll tell you, if Weaver starts jabbing, he's really going to start putting this guy on the end of that left hand.
Final seconds of the 5th round.
Coetzee is still talking to him. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, November 8th. This is action from round number 5.
I think that Coetzee is trying to land one big punch. The big punch isn't happening, and meanwhile he's getting hit with body shots and really putting him, hurting him, and it's going to keep on hurting him.
There's that overhand right from Coetzee, and there's the digging back to the body by Weaver.
Toe-to-toe action.
The bell for round number 6. This scheduled 15-round heavyweight championship fight from Bophuthatswana, South Africa. Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger in blue, the champion. Weaver pinned against the ropes again.
Weaver's people are not too happy with this referee. The referee came over and he wiped off Mike Weaver again, and he never went near the other guy, and they're screaming, what about the other guy? Wipe him off too.
Well, I'll tell you, they got a big problem. Sellers don't speak no English.
Jesus Celis from Venezuela.
I don't think that's too smart a thing to do. Here you have two fighters that speak English, and they put a referee in there that doesn't speak English.
That was raised at the rules meeting, and they said they'd find an interpreter at ringside for him if necessary. Can't help much in the middle of the ring.
Can't find the interpreter.
6th round action. We've got more championship action coming up in the Sports Spectacular. November 8th, lightweight champion Hilmer Kenty defends his crown against the veteran Villamar Fernandez, and that should be a good one.
I tell you, Coetzee is going to try to just bull him and shove him and grab him. He's looking to save himself. In fact, he's talking to Don Emanuel in the corner.
He just ran at Mike Weaver. If Mike threw a right hand, if that would have landed, it may have been all over.
That hook landed in the face.
There's no sweet science here. They're just walking in, throwing punches, especially Coetzee. At least when Weaver throws him, he throws him short and puts them together. There he goes again, another win.
Manuel screaming at the referee to get the holding Coetzee off Weaver. Coetzee has just been talking to there he is talking to him now. Talking to Weaver's manager, Don Manuel.
Sailors for the first time push away Coetzee.
Great flurry by Coetzee, and then again he ties up Weaver, who just dropped his arms imploringly at the referee, saying, hey, what do I have to do? Under a minute to go in round number 6.
You know, I hope they have a second referee here. This referee looks like he may lose by a TKO in about the 9th round. He's tired, too.
Good right hand from Weaver. Backed up Coetzee. Interesting thing also, at the weigh-in, they weighed the medical examination, rather. They gave the referee a physical.
Well, he's huffing and puffing now. Good combination. Good punches from both fighters. Boy, they're taking chances in there. No science at all, Angelo. It's a real brawl.
It's just a brawl, and he's pushing and shoving.
I haven't seen one guy faint, step off to the right, step off to the left. They're just coming right at each other, winging punches.
We're under 30 seconds to go in this 6th round. Approaching the end now, round number 6. Are your times coinciding with theirs now or not? No? Wait, are you hitting yours on the bell? Their times aren't the same as our times, evidently. I don't know what New York's getting. Yeah, I'd have to go that way, too.
Either that or even one or the other.
Yeah.
Now, here was the grave.
Round number 7, and apparently both fighters have gotten over the eye problems of having something smeared in there from their gloves. They have stopped the blinking that was a big part of the first 2 or 3 rounds of action. It has become more of a pushing and weight contest with Coetzee holding a 16-pound advantage in that category.
Coetzee landed a right hand right on the button, didn't even bother Mike Weaver. And he threw a good left hook behind it. That's going to discourage Coetzee, believe me, because he hit Weaver with his best punch and nothing happened.
Those body shots have taken their toll on Coetzee, and he's going to look to try to save himself. He's grabbing, he's holding. I've never seen him fight like this way before.
Coetzee's last fight against Mike Korenicki, an easy 1-round knockout in April. You saw it here on CBS. He's got a right hand landing again, and Weaver just rallying back to the body. Again, wasn't moved at all by that right from Coetzee.
Well, he paid him back with a good left hook, very low left hook, Coetzee.
We're in round number 7. How do you guys see it at this point?
At this point, I have Coetzee with a slight edge, Tim.
Angelo?
At this point, I think that Weaver's winning because the other guy just holding and grabbing too much, and I can't see giving him a round for grabbing and holding.
Well, but you have to give Coetzee the first 2 or 3 at least.
Oh, yeah, he had a big couple of rounds.
Again, Coetzee leaning on Weaver. There he grabs the rope again. Referee Solis is going to be a tired man when it's over.
Well, he's not doing a good job. He's not controlling it. He's not handling the fighter.
Right to the body from Weaver.
Weaver's starting to get the range a little bit now. His punches are much more effective. He's throwing them more correctly and pinpoint those body shots.
Most people who thought Coetzee could win thought he would do it in the early rounds, that the longer it went, it might be a replay of the John Tate fight, that he would not have the stamina or the wherewithal to go the distance and win it.
Well, the reason, Tim, is this Weaver's a puncher, pure puncher, early and late. This is the big difference between him and Coetzee.
Under a minute to go, round 7.
You know, Tim, Weaver has had stamina problems in the past also. Those big muscles guys get tired. Again, this may come down to who's got the will to win this fight the most. That's what I think it's going to wind up being.
Under 30 seconds to go. Hercules against the Boksburg Bomber. That's Coetzee's nickname. Lives in a little town not too far from Pretoria. Boksburg, Boksburg. Mike Weaver from Marina Del Rey, California. Born in Gatesville, Texas. We're in the final seconds of the 7th round. Check. Trying to get him to jab more. Round number 8, and Alan Tawil, Coetzee's trainer between rounds, exhorting him to jab more, jab more.
Yeah, he told him you can win this fight on points.
This is the 8th round, scheduled for 15, and it's a little warmer in here now than it was earlier. Temperatures in the high 70s, and this stadium is open, remember. It has a roof on it, keeping the hot African sun off.
Big left hook by Weaver. Big left hook. But see it through the right hand uppercut, the perfect counter by Mike Weaver, the good left hook.
Coetzee actually locked both arms of Weaver in the clinch that time.
Now there's the jabbing from Coetzee that Tawil wanted from him. He didn't really hurt him with it at all, and he wound up tying him up anyway.
I think the first fighter that changes his style a little bit, starts to feint the move and fight like he knows how to fight's going to win this fight. These guys are trying so hard that they've made just a brawl out of it. There's no science at all. One of them has to get a hold of himself and start the
right hand rocked Weaver. Coetzee rocked him with that right hand. Now coming to its feet here. Weaver looks like he's just trying to get himself back together. Doesn't appear to be real hurt. And he was rocked with a good right hand.
Remarkable the way Weaver took that right hand. That was a Sunday, and he took it right in the butt. He came back and he threw some punches.
Coetzee got one more through the upraised gloves of Weaver, but most of the others were blocked.
If Weaver survives this may take more out of Coetzee than it does out of Weaver.
It's already taking it out of him, Bill.
They'll all hang out now, and Weaver, believe me, can still can punch. Weaver's telling him to come on. Look at this. No science.
Weaver must sense that Coetzee is going to wear himself out.
Look at him grabbing the ropes. Look at him grab it. Ridiculous.
Under a minute to go in the 8th round. Weaver just resting, that's clear. Coetzee trying to get that big one in again. Overhand right from Weaver landed.
That hurt Coetzee. That hurt Coetzee. If he ever pulls him out of there and lands another shot, it might be the whole ball game.
Under 30 seconds to go in round 8. The crowd aroused here. 16,000 strong. Looking for only the 3rd South African world champion ever. Coetzee on the attack again in the final seconds of the 8th round. We'll return to South Africa after this word from your local stations. Are you saying 10-8? Keep that mic in tight when the crowd's up, Gil.
Here's the replay of that Floyd by Coetzee in the last round. A big right hand. Mike Weaver's back both feet even. He's a wide open target. Now he's trying to do the rope-a-dope. Coetzee is taking his time, looking for a spot. Sticking that left hand out there, just looking for one big spot to drop one in. He can do anything he wants now. And there's a right hand uppercut, and that lands, and then a left jab after. And then there's hard right here to the bottom.
Take it rope. Round number 9.
The bell for round number 9. Tim Ryan, Angelo Dundee, and Gil Clancy. And round 8 was a war, and Weaver survived it.
You know, a good test is if a fighter can put rounds together back to back. Now, Coetzee won that round big. Let's see if it took anything out of him, and maybe Weaver will come back and win this round big.
Coetzee laid on his stool like he was out of there. He slumped on the stool. He looked like he's out of gas. Referee just wanted to shut up and fight.
In Spanish.
He said, y'all shut up.
I think he understood it, though. He did put the finger up over his mouth. But Weaver, it seemed to me, lying there on the ropes after that big right hand, was just resting and letting Coetzee try to wear himself out. And I guess the question is, did he?
I'll tell you, the showier punches have been Coetzee, but the best shots have been Weaver's counter shots to the body, which has taken a toll on Coetzee.
Well, I've got Coetzee just slightly ahead in the fight through 8 rounds. How about You, Gil.
I have Coetzee comfortably ahead. 5 rounds to 3, and I gave him 2 points in that last round.
Angelo?
I saving judgment. I say it's an even up fight.
All right. 9th round action.
I believe this is a key round in the fight. Weaver has to reassert himself this round. If this guy can wrest through this round without taking any punishment, I think he's going to stay right in there and come down the home stretch big. This is a big round. Mike's got to do it this round.
This is not the way the fight was expected to go by most observers.
I'll tell you that Coetzee has a cast iron chin. He also has the 2 best grabbing hands I've ever seen. Even grabbed the referee that time.
Jesus Solis looks as tired or more so than the boxers are. Good body flurry by Weaver. Then again tied up, and Coetzee grabbing the ropes over there and leaning on Weaver.
Mike isn't initiating too much. He's waiting for Coetzee.
Less than a minute to go, round 9.
I'll tell you, in all fairness to the referee, Weaver shouldn't be laying in there himself. He should be trying to slip out of there and throw combination shots.
Right, both fighters are walking around the ring like wrestlers. They're looking right at each other and just throwing bombs, or trying to throw bombs.
Now, we mentioned the heat. It's not really oppressive in here. The roof keeps off the sun. It has gotten warmer as the afternoon's gone on, but I don't think, while they're obviously perspiring heavily, I don't think heat's been a big factor so far.
Well, there's only about 20 seconds left in the round, Tim, and it looks like Coetzee is able to take that rest that is so badly needed.
Again, Coetzee just leaning on him. He's got his full body weight on him over there. Final seconds of the 9th round. The bell for round 10. We're at the Sun City Resort, an oasis in the barren bush region, northwest of Pretoria, South Africa. Black homeland area known as Bophuthatswana. Championship action on November 8th on the Sports Spectacular. Lightweight champion Hilmer Kenty against challenger Villamar Fernandez. Should be a good one.
I'll tell you that Coetzee is a very strong individual. He locks up both arms of Weaver and keeps him locked.
Yeah, but Weaver lets him, Tim. And he's not trying too hard to get his hands free either.
Well, isn't there such a thing, Gil, as holding takes away points?
Yes, it certainly
Well, that's what I mean. You're not going to win a fight grabbing and holding. You got to be in there fighting.
Good flurry to the body from Weaver as Coetzee again just ties him up on the ropes.
Mike is tired now, too. Both fighters are tired. Mike has his mouth open, maybe just as tired as Coetzee.
How tiring is having all that body weight leaning on you?
Well, that's why we have weight divisions in boxing. A 16-pound weight advantage is something. That's 16 extra pounds to lean on you.
Little blood from that cut on the bridge of the nose. Mike Weaver has not been a factor so far in the fight. And again, there Coetzee holding onto the rope and punching with his other hand.
That's a foul. And the referee warned him rightly so.
Good combination from Weaver landed.
Coetzee is starting to move a little bit on his legs. Now he's back flat-footed again.
Well, his critics certainly have to say that he's shown confidence in this fight. Indeed, I think he's gained it as it's gone along. He may be tiring, but he's been standing there toe-to-toe, and he just looks confident.
Weaver certainly showed signs there of being tired. Same thing. That leaning and shoving and holding is taking toll on Weaver.
Under a minute to go. Round number 10.
What a dangerous punch, Coetzee. Trying an uppercut from outside. If he got nailed with a counter punch, then they'd be counting to 100. But he takes chances.
Under 30 seconds. Here in the 10th round, and a left from Coetzee landed. Weaver came back with a right hand. Again, Coetzee using Weaver as a pillow against the ropes. Closing seconds, we're approaching the end of round number 10. The bell for round 11 on the drama building here. A right-hand lead from Coetzee, and Weaver managed to duck away from it. A close fight as we see it. Go ahead, Angie.
That referee's got to take a round away from Coetzee. That's disgraceful. Allow him to rough him and grab him and push him. That's a disgrace. That's the worst job of refereeing I've seen done in a long, long time. And that's a disgrace.
I'm really surprised that the crowd they've been very neutral. There hasn't been too much cheering for Coetzee. When he does anything big, they're very, very quiet. I guess they're waiting for something.
Oh, what a left to the body from Weaver, and a left up top after it.
A left hook broke Coetzee's nose.
With blood on the face, and he's got him hurt. He's got him hurt. Weaver pounding away at Coetzee. Tremendous left to the body and then a left to the head, and Coetzee manages to tie him up on the ropes. The best flurry of the fight for Weaver by far.
Referee took a good look at Coetzee's nose.
Coetzee just pulled him into the ropes.
Trying to throw him out of the ring.
See, Tim, these ropes are very old ropes. They have them tightened like a drum. But the lights have made them bigger and they stretched them. That's why whenever they go against the rope, you see them bend over.
They're also a little low for heavyweights, too.
Yeah, it's only a 3-strand rope, but I think they ought to change that rule.
Lots of blood around the nose of Coetzee, but Weaver's been unable to follow up on that first big flurry that rocked Coetzee early in the round. Well, this is the 11th round.
Coetzee is using his legs a little bit now, trying to snap a jab out there. That may be the right thing to do with a tired fighter.
Now, these next 5 rounds, Tim, this is what you call championship territory. This is what will bring out what makes a champion.
Well, that's what we point out in the beginning of the fight, Ange, the will to win. And you gotta have to remember that fighting in Coetzee's hometown.
Look at this. Coetzee again just leaning on Weaver, forcing him over the top of the ropes. Finally gets a warning from the referee. We're well under a minute remaining.
He made Weaver mad again. Made him angry. That's the worst he can do. Best to leave Mike alone. Just trying to outpoint him.
Every time Coetzee gets arm weary, he just pushes Weaver back to the ropes. Under 30 seconds to go in the 11th round. Tim Ryan with Joe Clancy and Angelo Dundee at the Sun City Resort in Botswana, South Africa.
Well, here's where a cut man becomes very important. We'll see what they can do with that cut between rounds.
Left hook body shot from Weaver. Closing seconds of the 11th round. There's the bell ending round number 11. And there's Gerrie Coetzee going back to his corner. Angelo, you thought the nose was broken? Let's look at him in the corner. What do you think?
I think he may have broken his nose on the bridge of his nose. I think he may have broken his nose.
Well, let's see that flurry again by Weaver. This was the best flurry of the fight for the champion. A left hip to the body and then a left to the head being the big damaging blows. That brought the blood to the face of Coetzee. Another hard left hook right to the liver.
That's the best punch. That's the best punch, is left hook to the body.
Weaver with a big flurry here in the 10th round, in the 11th round, pardon me, as we await round number 12, and Gerrie Coetzee getting attention for a cut now on the bridge of his nose in about the same spot as Weaver has a cut that occurred earlier in the fight. If the nose is broken, that'll be a breathing problem too, won't it, Angelo?
Oh, it definitely will. It's definitely going to bother him. And the shots he gets hit now will definitely have more effect.
Weaver came out quickly for the beginning of round number 12.
Ange, I don't think his nose is broken because no blood came from the nostrils at all. It just came, just a rip across the bridge of the nose. Of course, it could be, but usually if you have a broken nose, it would bleed down one of the nostrils or both.
Did you watch the cut man working on Coetzee's nose?
Yes.
You see how nice he dabbed it with that little thing in there? That's Mansell solution, mortal cinch. Because you notice the cut is turning black.
Ange, we don't know if it's Mansell solution or not, but we do know that when you do use Mansell solution, it does turn a cut black. But whatever they use, it seems to have stopped the bleeding. Here we go with the football time again.
Coetzee just rushing Weaver into the ropes.
Coetzee has got tired again. He got his second wind. He's going to need a third wind now because, he just butted Weaver too.
Well, Coetzee certainly proving to the fans and the South African media that he is in this fight to stay. Weaver will have to take him out. They can't say that Coetzee has not shown the will to win.
I'll tell you, this won't be exactly called the Marquess of Queensberry rules fight.
That's for sure.
What way to see, Angelo, that Marquess of Queensberry?
He was an Italian guy that set up the rule book.
Solis hauling off Coetzee once more. And back they come to the ropes right above us with Coetzee using his extra weight. Weaver has got to be busier here in these later rounds.
Well, he has to realize he's fighting in the other guy's hometown. And if that guy makes a big flurry in the last round, it's going to be tough to take it away from him. He should, as you say, Tim, he should be busy now. Coetzee now is just trying the same thing all the time, though, Tim. 2 punches and he stops. When Weaver lets him go, he lets 4 or 5 go.
Under a minute to go, round number 12. They're right in Weaver's corner. Weaver trying to throw punches inside with Coetzee just laying on. Short right landed from Weaver.
Coetzee is definitely tired because he let him get away with those shots. He wasn't strong enough to grab the ropes anymore. So Weaver's going to really do a number on him in close too.
Under 30 seconds
Still
to go.
trying that right hand. Oh, he ought to forget about that overhand right for a while. He hasn't landed in quite some time. Start dropping to the belly and maybe hooking to the head. Here he'll come right back again, try and wing it again probably.
Solis finally pushed Coetzee all the way out to the middle of the ring. Good right uppercut from Weaver. And there they are back on the ropes. Left hook from Weaver.
Well,
cheekbone.
What he did, he threw the punches on the break, and you see Coetzee look at the referee.
Good finishing flurry at the end of round 12.
What's happening now, Tim? Weaver's able to move his guy around the clinches, which he hasn't been able to do before. That's why the hooks and right uppercuts are getting in there. Coetzee is so tired he can't grab the ropes anymore.
This is action from round number 12. Closing seconds of that 12th round, and now we have, as we see it at least, a very close fight. Perhaps a Weaver slightly ahead, and with only 3 rounds to go, the champion has got to be very conscious of a strong finish because He's on the foreign soil. There's a Panamanian judge, a Danish judge, and a Venezuelan referee. The bell for round number 13. And it's important now for Mike Weaver to finish strongly. As we see it, it's very close.
Well, Mike is coming now. He's coming at a faster pace now, moving his hands a little more. As you pointed out,
first good move he made.
As you pointed out, the Weaver's able to move him around a little bit now. And Mike is moving his hands more, which he should do.
What I liked about Weaver, then he slipped to the side of the guy and didn't make him use his weight on him. Could be a mistake, but they're trying to box Weaver.
Blood from that cut on the bridge of the nose of Coetzee again now. Good combination from Weaver landing.
Beautiful straight right hand.
I can see how Coetzee never's been knocked down. He's got a concrete chin. He got hit some real Sunday shots the last 2 punches.
He's tired, though. He's tired.
He has never been stopped. Has lost only once. And he said he had never been stopped as an amateur. Had over 200 amateur fights. Another good right hand from Weaver.
Mike is really coming now. Full of confidence. Got his second wins coming on pretty good.
Right landed from Weaver, and down goes Coetzee. Tremendous right hand. Mike Weaver, the champion, and Coetzee now trying to get up, is going to not make it. I do not believe it is all over. He did not get up, and Mike Weaver, with a 13th round knockout, has defended his WBA championship. Tremendous right hand sending Coetzee to the canvas, and the South African challenger, who had fought with confidence all the way into the 12th round, is flattened by the champion Weaver. Let's look at it again. Here it comes.
Great right hand. Mike Weaver threw a right hand, and he countered with a right hand. It was a perfect right hand stop.
All right, and Coetzee was just on his knees at the count of 10, pulled himself onto the ropes, did not make it, and Mike Weaver has defended his WBA championship. Will return to Bophuthatswana, South Africa, in just a moment. All right, should I... I can hear you. Can you hear me?